He's kinda cheap and people think he's a freak. It's the Frugal Freak Podcast. I'm Bradley and welcome to the Frugal Freak Podcast, where I am considered the freak in society because I love to not be broke. I would rather save the money that I wake up every day and work hard for than have nothing. And I'm not stupid. Okay, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the podcast, or welcome back to the podcast. I hope you guys are all doing well. So you're probably like, Bradley, where are you? Because this does not look like your apartment, and you would be correct. So I am dog sitting, and I actually just watched this dog maybe like 6 weeks ago, and they have this couch in their basement. And if you follow me on Instagram, which you all should, I'm the Fabulous Brad on Instagram, although I should probably change it. Anyways, oh my God, sorry, you don't need to know. You guys know, I swear to God, I'm autistic. There's no reason why I give so many details. There's no reason why. Anyways, so I was watching this dog like 6 weeks ago, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw the photo shoot with this cute couch. And I actually filmed a podcast episode. Oh my God, here's the autism coming out because I'm giving you every detail that you're probably like, shut up! I don't care! But you're here watching me, so maybe you do care. But anyways, so I filmed a podcast episode when I was here last, and it was like 2 hours after I filmed that podcast episode, I was like, why did I not film it on the couch? Is this couch not the cutest thing? This couch feels the embodiment of like Lizzie McGuire, like Hilary Duff, like 2000s. I love it. So I decided, since I'm back here, I have to do it on the couch. So I literally, first of all, this thing is heavy. It's heavy and it's bulky, and I think it flips out to be a bed. I love this. I almost want to ask them and be like, do you want this anymore? Because I want this. This is like perfect for a podcast. Is it not? I love it. That's why I brought the couch up here. So welcome to the podcast. Oh my God, let's jump in. And then, so we'll do my usual yap session, and then we will kind of get into today's topic of what I want to talk about. And like, it actually is kind of serious about what I want to talk about. It's something that I really struggle with, and I wonder if you guys maybe struggle with it. So we'll have a fun yap session, and then I'll kind of like get into a therapy session of me kind of like opening up to everything. Also, I just want to thank everyone for being here. I'm always so grateful for like any love and support I get. I really can never believe it. And we're getting kind of close to 10,000 budget baddies here. That's, if you don't watch me on TikTok, I always call my supporters budget baddies because I'm Bradley on a budget on TikTok. We're getting close to 10,000 budget baddies, which is so cool. I'm still not monetized on here. Stupid! I don't know why! I don't know why. There are worse people on here who still get money, make money. Anyways, hopefully you know that means I love you, because between filming, editing, uploading, and everything in between, this probably takes like 3 to 4 hours per episode that you watch. So I do it out of love. I really do enjoy the podcast, and I just want to thank you guys for your love and support and for being here and just being like my internet friends. I've been getting recognized so much in public. It's actually bananas. You know what's so crazy is like, I'm kind of, oh my God, I don't want to say it. I'm kind of getting close to 1 million followers on TikTok. I can't even believe that sentence is coming out of my mouth. I can't even believe I have 10,000 followers. I truly can't believe any of this. And it's like, it's crazy to have almost 1 million followers on TikTok, but I don't know how to vocalize it, but my life is so simple that it's weird. It's weird to live in both lives, that like I have, I guess, a big following on social media and I get recognized in public and this and that. But because I live my life so simple and so minimal, it's like it almost doesn't feel like it. It's the weirdest thing. I hope you understand what I mean, but I don't know how to explain it. If you guys saw on TikTok, if you watch me, see my frugal vacation where I went to Florida for 16 hours, I was recognized 9 times. In less than 24 hours, I was recognized 9 times in public by Budget Baddies. What the hell is going on? Are you kidding me? All of a sudden, there was this girl who screamed out of her car window. She was like, I love you. I watch you on TikTok. So I ran back and I talked to her for a minute. It's crazy. And I don't even know where I'm going with all this, but I really just want you guys to know how much I love you and how grateful I am. And never for a second did I think any of this could happen to me. So I just love you guys and I'm happy to have you here and I'm just loving the podcast. So why don't we jump in to the first topic of today's video? And I know everyone's talking about it, so you guys are probably like, I'm so over this discussion. But why not? We'll just talk about it briefly. So the billionaires who went up to space. I don't really know if I have like a drastic thought about it. I think we're all thinking the same thing. Like, why? Why? First of all, no one knew it was going to be 11 minutes. I think we all thought they were going to hang up there for like a couple days, like a little They did a frugal vacation. Oh my God. Everyone gives me flack for my frugal trip last week. They did a frugal vacation. They did a frugal trip to the space. Okay. So shut up. Oh my God. First of all, everyone missed the point of the frugal vacation. That's not how I normally vacation. If I go away somewhere, it's usually for like 3 to 4 days minimum. I really don't like long trips, to be honest with you. But the frugal vacation was to show you like, oh, you don't have a lot of time off from work, or you don't have a lot of time, you don't have a lot of money. Well, I did an entire trip from start to finish for $70. No one will ever get it. I don't know. I'm telling you, 100 years from now, they're going to look back at the archives and they're going to come across my content and be like, what the hell was going on? I'm doing what no one else is doing. Anyways, oh my God. Like, there's already some conspiracies popping up from them going up to space and then them coming back down. Oh my God. There's too much going on. And I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, this is why I just do not care about big name people. Like, I like Katy Perry. She has provided the bops, and a lot of her songs give, that feeling of nostalgia that I'm sure we all feel when we listen to her music. But it's just like, at the end of the day, this is why I have given up with like worshiping like celebrities, to be honest with you. And that's why I think this whole spaceship thing, I'm not very fazed by it, because I just don't care about this stuff. Like, I don't care about the big name people. I don't care about the wealthy people. Like, you will be disappointed. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. But I don't know if I want to say that. It's just like, what do you expect from celebrities with a ton of money? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not us. Just kind of giving it a side eye to be like, huh. Okay. But then I like moved on with my day. Like, I was not emotionally invested into any of this. It's just pretty predictable. So I think that's why I'm just like shrugging my shoulders at this whole thing. I'm just like, this is rich people doing rich people things. It's just crazy. I think the only thing I'll say, and then I'll move on from it, is like, it's just crazy how the divide, like the wealth divide, like here's these people going up to space for 11 minutes, basically as like an experiment or to have fun, and then come back down to reality. And there's all like the common folk who can't afford homes, bills are due, credit card debt is accumulating, money's tight, and they're having fun going up to space. It's just interesting. On that note, I owed almost $7,000 in taxes. I did my taxes like 2 weeks ago. And again, if you watch me on TikTok, you might have seen it or you might have not if I'm being suppressed. But yeah, I owed almost $7,000. I'm pretty sure last year, like the year prior, I owed about $2,200. So it was a huge jump from last year to this year, but also my income did like drastically increase, which I was so proud about. New tax bracket. Oh my God, hair over the shoulder, new tax bracket, which we'll kind of talk about in the end of this episode, because that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about. I don't know. It's just stupid, but well, it's not stupid. It's how I feel, but whatever. So anyways, so I hope everyone survived their taxes. Hopefully you got a return. For work, I had to do people's taxes this year because I'm a financial coach, and I guess part of the job, they wanted us to do taxes. The biggest return someone got from me doing their taxes, I am not kidding, it was like $17,000. Like $17,000. Can you imagine going to do your taxes and then 2 hours later, someone's like, here's $17,000? It's bananas. It's bananas. There weren't really many other returns that were that big, but it's crazy. It is crazy, some of the money that people get as a tax return. It's the name of the game. I try to not be bitter about it, and I'm just like, sometimes you have to spend money to make money. So it's like, yeah, I made great money last year, so I just have to pay up. Like, that's just the name of the game. So, and this is also why I save my money and I live frugal, because I feel like the average person, if they were like, oh, you owe $7,000 in taxes, they would be like floored. Like, not to brag, but I'm saying this is why I live my lifestyle. So if there's anything that ever pops up, I'm okay. Because you guys know, if you've been watching my other podcast episodes, and like with my trauma, it's all about making sure I'm okay, making sure I feel safe and okay with money, because I just really never have for most of my life up until like probably 2 to 3 years ago. Also, I was ghosted twice by 2 different guys in the past couple of weeks, and I just don't get it. I genuinely just do not get it. First of all, I'm going to speak right into the mic so you hear this. If you are 25 years old or older and you cannot just like clearly communicate how you feel, you will be going nowhere in life. Like, you are so hopeless in this life that you, as a grown, developed adult, you just can't tell someone, I'm sorry, I'm no longer interested, or I'm sorry, this thing doesn't align with like my beliefs or whatnot, so I'm not interested in pursuing anything further. That's all you have to say. I always say, from everything I've gone through in my life, if you think you telling me you're no longer interested in me or going out on a date is going to like crumble me, oh wow. Are you kidding me? Like, I've walked through snow with holes in my shoes. Like, I've slept on a mattress on the floor with rats going across the room when I was in New York City. I've suffered a back injury for 3 years. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or even drowning in my student loan debt. That's like the worst one of all. Of all the things I've gone through in my life, you think I'm going to crumble because you tell me the truth that you're no longer interested? But these grown, fully developed guys just disappear. There was this one guy who we were chatting. So we matched on Hinge, and then he was like, can we talk on Instagram? And I was like, ugh. First of all, I don't like giving my social media stuff out because of doing social media. And I never want someone to create an idea of who I am without getting to know who I am. Did you guys see the April Fool's joke of the Bentley? So like, my Instagram is always going to have photos of me with a Bentley, and like, I'm going to so catfish guys at this point, because they're going to be like, oh my God, he has so much money. Oh my God, he has a Bentley. I should date him. And yeah, no, April Fool's, it's a joke. Oh, he wanted to go from Hinge to Instagram. And I was like, well, wouldn't you rather just want to text? Because that's a better way for us to communicate. Why would we talk on an app and then move to another app? And I know everyone's like, well, he wants to see your other photos and stuff. So I was like, fine. If you want Instagram, even though I'm nudging for us to text, but if you are nudging for Instagram, fine, have at it. Here's my Instagram. So we talked. I can't give the full story. I got in trouble on TikTok when I gave the full story. But basically, chatting happened. He sent images that I didn't ask for, if you can assume what those images were. It was just inappropriate and not my style. Definitely a turnoff, not into that. And so we seemed to be on different pages with that. And then we agreed on a day where we would FaceTime. So I asked him the day of, I was like, hey, is later today still good for us to FaceTime? He was like, yes, I will let you know when I'm home from work. 8 o'clock came, nothing. 9 p.m. came, nothing. 10 p.m. came, nothing. And it was at that point, I was like, if I even hear from him and it's after 10 o'clock and he hasn't communicated it with me with anything, I'm over it. I'm done. And I never heard from him again. I'm so embarrassed for you. If they were to just tell me the truth and be like, I think you're so ugly, I'm not interested in you, at least you're being upfront and honest. For you to say, I'll let you know when I'm home from work, and then I never hear from you again, I think you're the biggest joke. I'm so embarrassed for you. It just happened again with another guy. Why don't we agree to meet next week? So we were going to meet last night. And it was, oh my God, wait, no, you guys don't need all the details. I need to hold myself back sometimes and be like, they don't need to know you talk to each other on a Thursday. Like, stupid, stop. So we messaged and we said, why don't we do this day and why don't we do around this time and maybe this place? So he said, okay, sounds good. This loser was the one who then says, okay, but let's keep chatting and keep in touch leading up to the date. So I said, yeah, totally, of course. Like, we will still chat leading up to the date on Tuesday. This Thursday, I asked, what do you have? Do you have anything fun planned for the upcoming weekend? Never heard from him. Oh my God. Oh my God. So you told me, let's keep chatting leading up to the date on Tuesday. And then I decided to do that. And I asked, what are you doing this weekend? And I heard nothing from you. And then I heard nothing from him the day before the date. I heard nothing from him the day of the date. So I went into that being like, I don't care if I hear from him at this point. I'm not interested. These people, oh my God, I'm not kidding, if you're 25 and you do not know how to communicate your thoughts or feelings to someone else, like, just throw in the towel now, you're done. You will never go anywhere in life because you will always be stupid. So yeah, so that literally has both happened. That happened in like the past 2 weeks, like twice, like stupid. And it makes me wonder, I'm like, is it me? Is it me? I really wonder if it's what they find on social media. I'm sorry. Like, I love my social media. I love what I'm doing. I love the content that I post. If you think I'm too emotional, if you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm X, Y, or Z, all right. I know myself at the end of the day. You cannot dictate who someone is from a 2 to 3 minute video. And if you think you fully know someone from a 2 to 3 minute video, I'm going to say you're nuts. I would never look at someone's Instagram or look at the content they post and think I know everything about them. Whatever, over it. We will go into my home buying update before we jump in kind of to like the topic that I wanted to really talk about for today's episode. I feel like the houses I'm seeing in the area I want to live in are like high 2s, low 3s. So remember that number. So my real estate agent connected me to a general contractor who like does home building and everything, like the foundation, the clearing out the land, all of that. And so I called him and I just was kind of talking to him about the vision that I have. Like, I'm open to doing this. I'm open to doing this. What do you think of this? How much would this cost? He told me the current cost per square foot is $200 a square foot. Oh my God. I thought it was way more. I'm shocked. Especially from the research I was doing. I was seeing people quoting like in the $300 or $400 per square foot range. And I know I talked about this on my TikTok live stream like a couple days ago, and everyone was like, oh, be careful. It could be scam. Not a scam, but like, it may not be good quality. I don't know. He said he was the vice president of something here in Connecticut. So, like home builders, something of Connecticut. I don't know. I'm so territorial with my money, obviously, because I dedicated the last 11 and a half years of my life to building all my savings, that I would never just like willy-nilly believe or trust someone. Never. When it comes to money, hell no. So, of course, I will do my research. This is the current logic. If I'm expected to probably pay around $300,000 for something decent, why not buy a plot of land, pay the cost to clear it out, get utilities hooked up, have a small, like 800 square foot, 2-bedroom house, small and simple, but cute, for about the same price? What am I missing? Am I insane? Am I crazy? If I'm expected to shell out $275,000 to $300,000 minimum for something that will need renovations, or probably need work done, because a lot of these houses I'm seeing are 50, 70, 80, 110 years old, like old houses, nothing new with my budget. Why not build one? Am I insane? And I know I've heard so many horror stories where it's like the price you think it's going to be is never what it ends up being. Like something always pops up, something always becomes more expensive, which stresses me out because, I'm very bad and weird with numbers and things and money and all that. Let's just say 800 square foot home, $160,000. And then what did we just say? 100. Oh, wait, shit. That's kind of a lot of money. Okay, that comes to $320,000. Fuck. I'm trying to keep it in like, I think my budget to buy a house is like, why don't I do it? And then it's fresh, it's new. I'm not going to have to renovate a thing because I literally just built it. Everything today sucks. I swear to God. Like nothing is as good as it used to be. Like literally, let's go back to the 2000s. Please take me back. That's literally where my heart is at. There's so much I don't know. Like getting things approved by the town, getting things set up with the town, like the cost of this, the cost of that. Like maybe it's not a good idea. I think like the main topic I wanted to talk about in today's episode, it is kind of something I'm struggling with, and I'm like getting like teary-eyed even like just thinking about it. I could cry. We might, this might be the episode where I cry. And I don't know. So I just kind of wanted to hang out with you guys and just kind of like talk about something I'm feeling. And I don't know if everyone will be able to relate to this, but I think people do relate to this. Where do I even begin? So most of you probably know the story, but in case you don't, I was in $130,000 of debt at 20 years old, which is insane. And what made it worse was it was for a college degree. So it was student loan debt. And my college degree was making me $12 an hour, or like $12 to $13 an hour with the jobs I was getting out of college. And I went to culinary school. Did I say that? I went to culinary school. Just the dumbest. That school, I now have lawsuit money, and I should just go for it because that school deserves to be taken down. But anyways, sorry. Up until my late 20s, I never experienced money as a good thing. Money was always a problem. Like even growing up, like money wasn't a good thing. I do want to clarify though, because I feel like when we always talk about money problems in our childhoods, I feel like people always go to, oh, you grew up with nothing, or you were poor, or like you lacked resources or whatnot. I feel like we don't talk enough about how the other side of the spectrum, where like growing up in a normal middle class family, that money was there, but because money was like so mismanaged or abused, or having a parent who was an overconsumer or used spending money and shopping to fill like the void in their life. Like we don't talk enough about that. I feel like every time we talk about like money trauma from childhood, it's always assuming that someone grew up with nothing. I feel like we don't talk enough about how like there are people who experience financial trauma, but it wasn't because of a lack of money or a lack of resources or whatnot. But it was like the opposite side of it, where it's like money was there, so you had access to things, but it was like the mismanagement of money or the abuse of money that caused all the problems. I grew up in a nice town in a normal middle class family, but my parents just made bad decisions. And I also think they never felt like they could win with money. So they just kept living the way they were living because it just was kind of this like, woe is me mentality. On top of having a parent who loved spending money, which I believed was okay because I thought if my parent is allowing this, this is okay. Anyways, I'm going too much into the childhood stuff, but it's just something I feel like we don't talk about enough, that financial trauma is not just from someone who had nothing growing up or a lack of resources or like poverty. Like, I feel like financial trauma could be found in a lot of aspects. When I graduated college and ended up in all of my student loan debt, and people don't even like when I say that, when I ended up in it, I had no idea the mess I was making. I thought I was doing a good thing with my life. Everyone encouraged me to go to that school, and I thought if my parents are allowing me, I shouldn't question this because I feel like, but anyways, whatever. My life was 1,000,000% different than what it is today, 11 years ago. The feeling of being desperate for money is so like tattooed into my soul. And I will never forget what it felt like to be that version of myself 11 years ago, fresh out of college after everyone told me that was what I had to do for a better life, only to realize I ruined my life. And now I was strapped with 6 figures of student loan debt and feeling like my life was completely over. And making $12 an hour on top of all of it. On top of all the issues I had. I wasn't even making a lot of money with the degree. And I just remember how unhappy I was, how desperate I was for money, how desperate I was for opportunity, and I wasn't getting it. I was deeply depressed. I was so incredibly unhappy with my life. It wasn't just the student loan debt. There were so many issues in my life. There were so many things I was unhappy with. So honestly, I feel like I was really just like, I was really unmotivated. I was really unhappy. I was a hard worker. I went to work every day. I busted my butt, but I was like so unmotivated to like work more or earn more money because I was in this headspace of like, I shouldn't have to. You see my hustle culture today that I'm like, I'm always working, which this is what we're about to talk about. I'm always working. I'm always trying to make money. I'm doing all these different side hustles. I'm finding all these income streams. I'm doing this and that. And I just didn't have that. I just didn't have that in the first few years after graduating college because I was so unhappy. I was going through it. Like I had mental health issues. I had a drinking problem because I didn't know how to cope with the pain of the debt and the pain of my childhood. I guess what I want to talk about is like, I'm tired. Oh my God, I'm getting like teary-eyed saying it because I don't think I want to admit it, but I know it's the truth. I think I actually am a workaholic. And like, I don't think I've ever been more exhausted. I'm run down, like I'm tired. And let me just pause quickly and say I'm so grateful for every single thing that I don't want this to come off as like I'm ungrateful, I'm complaining. I think what's hard to juggle is like, I love everything I do. I love the crisis hotline. I love social media. I love being a financial coach. I love dog sitting. I love every single thing I do. It's just a lot. And I think I've kind of had the light bulb go off in my head in the past couple of weeks that I realized I don't know how to say no to making money. And then I thought about it a little deeper and I realized I think it's because of what I experienced 11 years ago after graduating college and drowning in debt and so desperate for money and opportunity that I don't know how to say no to something. Or I don't know how to put myself first before money. Like I always put money before myself. I'm getting so real with you. And it doesn't even have to do with like my frugal lifestyle, even though you guys know sometimes I do some extreme things to save money, but it's the act of making money. Like I always put making money before myself. And I guess an example I have, like the most recent example I have is it was 2 days ago and it was recent. It was a couple days ago where I was so busy. I was so incredibly busy where I was very overwhelmed. I had a deadline with a brand deal. I had to get like some drafts in of the videos that I was planning to make. And all of a sudden I got a text message of someone who I recently dog sat for. And they said, "Hey, can you watch them tomorrow?" And I knew the answer was no because I was so overwhelmed. I was so busy. I was even on call for the crisis hotline and they live far out. So this wouldn't have been good for me. I was already overwhelmed. I was busy. I was on call for the crisis hotline. And now I'm being asked to dog sit. And is dog sitting hard work? Not really. I'll be honest with you. Not really. But this one in particular, they live like 45 minutes out of the way. It was more the idea of the time. Like, this is going to take me a lot of time to do this. And I sat with myself. Well, of course I was getting work done. But in my head, I sat with myself and I was like, oh, you know you shouldn't do this. You know you're so stressed. You know you're so overwhelmed. You know you don't really have the time to do this. But I took it. I did it. I don't know how to say no. And another thing too, I know I'm going to give a warning that this is the out of touch influencer moment, because I know sometimes I know my life is so weird. I know it's very Hannah Montana, where I feel like I'm a normal person and then I'm Bradley on a budget, and I'm the whole social media thing. But like April is insane. And I am literally juggling probably like 4 brand deals right now, which is a sentence I never would have thought in my wildest dreams would come out of my mouth. So I'm so grateful. I don't want it to come off as like whining or complaining. But what I'm trying to say is like every time an opportunity comes in, I can't say no. And like so I have these opportunities, but they're all like, everything is due in April. Like, I either have to have it completed in April, I need the drafts due in April, I'm doing a speaking event at the end of April, so that's going to take 48 hours. There's so much I'm doing, but I just feel so guilty to ever say no to the opportunity to make money. I think that's the sentence. That is what I was trying to get at. I feel guilty to say no to the opportunity to make money, because I always think, I go back to, oh my God, think about who you were 11 years ago when you were making $12 an hour and you would have done anything for money. You would have taken any opportunity. And now you have it, Bradley. Now you're getting these opportunities. You're getting these offers. You're getting the chance to make money that I just can't say no. And even when I sign up for these brand deals, I take every single one. But then when I see the timeline and the schedule of when this is due, when I need to submit this, when I need to have that signed, I need to do this, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But again, I don't care about me. I just see the money. Just pause for a very quick second, because when I used to watch people on social media 5 to 10 years ago, it always felt so like out of reach. And I always just want to be that person to say, like, I've poured almost 6 years of my life into my TikTok page. I've posted almost every day on my TikTok page. I now currently pour in like 30 hours plus a week into my social media. I just want to say, like, don't ever think it can't be you. I never in my wildest dreams thought for a second any of this could be me. So I always want to remind anyone who watches and listens, like, because, and I always say this because I used to feel like when I would watch people on YouTube when I was like in my like late teens, early 20s, like when YouTube was really popping off and growing, everyone felt so out of reach. Like when I would watch people on social media who were like big, I always felt like they were untouchable or out of reach. And now it's like that I'm that person with almost 1 million followers on TikTok. Like, it's so crazy how normal I am and how normal my life is, and that I wake up every day and go to work, and that I'm a middle child, and like I help my parents. And do you know what I mean? So like, I just want to pause while I'm talking about money and brand deals and this and that I just want that person who's watching, I want you to know, like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. Is this weird now that I'm trying to like explain it? Like, I'm a normal person. This is just something I'm really struggling with. And I think it's finally coming to surface. And again, I don't regret anything. I don't regret my frugal lifestyle. I don't regret how hard I've worked. I think social media has brainwashed people to believe like hard work doesn't matter, or if you're not getting paid a ton of money, you shouldn't work hard. But if it wasn't for the work ethic I developed since graduating college and busting my butt trying to make money or just trying to do a good job so I don't lose my job, I wouldn't have developed the work ethic to do what I do today. I wouldn't have the work ethic to work 60 to 70 hours, probably minimum, on everything that I do. Or to have that drive to push myself. So like, I don't regret anything that's led me to where I am today, but I think, I'm not 25 anymore and can just run around and do everything. But also like, I haven't had a day off. I'm not kidding. Like, even when I've gone on trip, like I went to London last fall and was filming every day. And when I would get home in the evening, I would edit everything and I would stay up late to make sure it was ready to post for American time. Like, so did I have fun? Yes. Did I enjoy the travel and the adventure? Yes. But it's like, I've never allowed myself a day because there's always something. Even if I have 30 minutes open, I'll ask myself, like, what can I do in these 30 minutes? Because I'm so busy. Phones don't say charge forever. So obviously doing social media, I need to keep the phone charged. So sometimes I'll put my phone to the side to charge for like 30 to 45 minutes and I'll be laying in bed and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, wait, but you can go on your OF page and go message everyone to say thank you for subscribing and showing your support and this and that. You catch up on that so that I'm not falling behind. It's like, it just doesn't stop. It's this very difficult balance I live in where it's like, I'm tired and need a break, but also, oh my God, I'll never forget where I came from and how desperate I was for money and opportunities. And I have it. So how dare I not push myself or not accept that offer or not take the next 30 minutes, even though you're tired, to send thank you messages on your OF page to keep up with it so you don't fall behind, which then will take more time to catch up to send. Because every time someone subscribes or resubscribes, I send a thank you message. That's what I mean by that. Does anyone relate to this? Are you guys even still here? I just feel like it's hard as someone who used to really struggle with money and be desperate for money to say no to stuff that I think at least I've started to acknowledge and wake up to, but that doesn't mean I'm like gonna stop. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's another big thing that maybe people don't really realize, that with social media, there's no such thing as stopping. Social media is all about you being seen. I haven't taken a day off of TikTok for like years, that I don't know what it would be like if I was to just not post for 3 days. But my fear and my anxiety and maybe my OCD is like, if I don't post for 3 days, it's all going to go away. Like that's the mindset I've gotten in because I've so consistently worked on posting every single day for years now, that I feel like if I walked away for like 3 days, it'll all go away. I do acknowledge that's kind of extreme, but I know what I can do is like make multiple videos and just have them ready to post. But because I produce content that's over 1 minute, those videos typically take anywhere between like 1.5 to 3 hours to produce. I'm not kidding. After I film this, I actually need to get started on tomorrow's video, which is going to be a long time to edit it. But do you see what I mean? So it's like, if those types of videos take 1.5 to 3 hours, I don't have the time to like load up on 3 or 4 of those to then like post throughout the week. Basically, I'm like a day at a time type of person with my content. I know this is too much information that you probably don't care about, but it's like every video you see, I made the day before and finished it the day of. Like there's no such thing as I have like 5 videos ready to go at one time. Like I'm always working on the brink of it needing to be posted. Once I post it, I move on to then the next video that I start editing that I'm going to post tomorrow. Like maybe I can make like a long video, but then have like 2 or 3 short ones to post and take like 2 days off. You know what I mean? Because I do have a little small family trip coming up in May that I'll be away for 2 days and I'm going to my happy place. It's Newport, Rhode Island. Does anyone know Newport, Rhode Island? I know it's so random, but my happy place is Newport, Rhode Island. I have so much like nostalgia and childhood memories. Well, I don't really remember a lot from my childhood, I'll be honest, but I remember going. I remember that much. I don't remember physically like all the things we did there, but I remember the feeling of going there as a kid. And I love going there as an adult. So like maybe I could load up on content and just like actually enjoy the 2 days and actually take 2 days off, because I just haven't had a day off in the longest time. And it's like, I wouldn't, how do I word this? Because I don't want to say I wouldn't have it any other way because I'm exhausted, but it's like the hard work pays off. The hard work is worth it. I wouldn't regret doing anything I've done to be exactly where I am today. And that's where I try to make my content too on TikTok, to show you like build side hustles, like get a part-time job, work hard. You're not going to save $10,000 overnight, but if you keep at it, if you work hard, if you stay disciplined, if you have a plan, like in time it can happen. And I'm the embodiment of that. I'm living a life today that even 5 years ago, I wouldn't have thought in my wildest dreams this would be my life, let alone 11 years ago when my whole student loan situation happened. I don't know if there's anything else to say about it. It's just something I'm kind of struggling with, and at least I think I've become more mindful of it. But I guess it's kind of like, for anyone who listens to Lana Del Rey, she has a song called, is it called Get Free? And she says, sometimes it feels like I have a war in my mind. I want to get off, but I keep riding the ride. Like that is like the description to my life, where it's like, I know I'm working myself to the ground. I'm possibly working myself to being sick. But the reward is so addicting. The reward of getting, or all of this happening today, is something I would have dreamed of 11 years ago. And all these opportunities and the money that I'm making and whatnot, that I'm so stuck existing in two places where it's like, I want to keep going. I love working hard. I love building this brand of mine. I love building up my savings. I love all of this, but there's also this side of me where I'm just like, I wish I could lay in bed for 3 days and do nothing and worry about nothing and think about nothing. My TikTok really started going places in August of 2024, because I think in July I posted my $1 breakfast video and it never was the same since. And when I saw the traction building, I was like, oh my God, I have to keep going. 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 So basically, what's August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Basically the past 8 months I have been running at full capacity. I'm so unbelievably grateful. I cannot believe this is happening to me. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But it's like, after going nonstop for 8 months, I think I'm almost starting to hit that point where I'm like, oh, this is a lot. You're exhausted. Like, you need a break, but there's so much going on, you can't have a break. I have that family trip coming in May, and like most of the brand deal stuff will be done by then. So I'm like, Bradley, just keep going, keep cranking it out, keep pushing it, keep working hard. And maybe that will allow you, because most of this will all be done by the beginning of May or by mid-May, that it's like, go enjoy the trip. Okay, so can you guys maybe hold me accountable to that? Like, when the trip comes, like, enjoy the trip. Of course, I'll film, like maybe I'll put a cute little like vacation clip together. I do enjoy that. I enjoy all of this. I love this. I love content creating. I love social media. I love talking to you guys. I love all of this. But sometimes it's just so much. Sometimes it's such hard work. It's so exhausting. Let me reverse that actually. I don't think social media is hard work. I think it's hard work when you're juggling a whole life outside of it. You know what I mean? If I didn't have my financial coaching job and I was just doing social media, I wouldn't probably be saying half of this, but it's like, I'm working a lot at my financial coaching job, and I juggle all my other side hustles, and I do the social media, and I try to have a social life, and I help my parents and all this stuff. So anyways, okay, I'll wrap it up here. I pray you didn't take this as me like whining and complaining. It's just me just kind of talking about just how I feel, and I guess just how it's hard to walk away from what money does to you in your past, it's hard to walk away from that and allow yourself to be okay. Because I think that's my thing. I don't think I've allowed myself to feel okay. And that's why I'm just like, nope, you can't say no. You can't stop. You have to keep going. Anyways, okay, I'm just talking in circles at this point, and that's when I know I need to wrap up. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your support on the podcast. It means a lot to me. If you watch to the end, a high five to you. I don't really have a phrase for you. I don't know. What do you want to say? Cute Lizzie McGuire couch. I don't know. Say that if you made it to the end. Comment cute Lizzie McGuire couch, because this does feel so Lizzie McGuire. But I love you so much. And, for as much hate as I might get on social media, I know I get way more love. And like even all the budget baddies that I met in Florida when I went on my frugal vacation, and everyone in between, like I just feel so loved and supported. And it's really incredible. I can't believe I've built this, and I've built such a supportive group of people. So I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you on TikTok every day. And I'll see you guys again on here soon. Love you. Bye.